Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing a review of my other tent, which is the OEX Phoxx 2. Cracking little tent. I used this throughout all of last year, and I just thought I'd give you my review of it. I know there's plenty of reviews out there, but I just wanted to do mine. Once we've done that, we're going to do a little bit of home cooking. Before we go any further, I'd just like to say thank you very much to everybody that's subscribed to my channel. I'm up to 20 subscribers now, and my last video, the garden NHS camp, has just got over 200 views, so that's much more than I thought it would be, so thank you very much. If you do like my videos, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated. Right, let's get the OEX Phoxx 2 set up. Right, just before we start, I have seen quite a few other reviews of the Phoxx 2 out there. Some people do seem to have issues with putting the alloy poles through. My advice is to put the alloy poles through before you peg the inner fly down. This tends to just reduce the friction a little bit and the tautness of everything. Much easier to do it that way. So, right, let's crack on. OEX Phoxx 2, let's go. So there we go, that's the inner setup. Absolutely no issues with these poles going in too tight by doing it before we peg the bottom sheet down. Let's get the fly sheet on. Again, my slight recommendation is to put your fly sheet on first and tie the two tie out points on the high bar. Makes it much easier. And there we go guys, easy as that. Bang on 9 minutes. Spot on, so we'll open her up, let's have a look inside. Right guys, so that's it fully set up. If I remember correctly, the fly sheet here, it's 5,000mm waterproof, and the ground sheet is 3,000mm waterproof. Both the outer fly and the inner fly have little toggles on them, so you can fold them up and have them completely open, or any combination of either. The mesh itself is nice and thin, so there's no flies at all going to get through that. Plenty of space down the side for ventilation. So yeah, one of my favourite tents at the minute. This absolutely fantastic, lovely and low profile, and very inconspicuous when you're out and about. Right, we'll get inside and have a look inside. Just before we get in, it is worthwhile pointing out that the porch area is duplicated on the other side. So you've got this small porch area on either side, and a quick closer look at these clips that hold the inner to the support there. It just clips on really easy. You've got two of them either side at the highest end, and you've got one at the smaller end. Very easy to set up. So that's me inside. As I mentioned in my other videos, I'm 6'3", so quite tall. Not the tallest, but quite tall. But in this little tent, I'm sat up comfortably, and I'm just and so touching the inner fly sheet. So that's pretty good really for a small tent. that's quite inconspicuous when you're out and about. There's plenty of room as well. So what I'll do is I'll spin you round and I'll show you the length that I've got on the floor. So that's me laid down. My feet aren't quite touching the bottom of the tent because I wanted to make it as realistic as possible. So my feet are comfortable at the bottom, and I've still got plenty of room above my head at the back of this tent. Where you can see there, we've got a couple of little pockets for storing stuff as well, which comes in quite handy. And we've also got a little loop just above your head at the highest point here for hanging a light or anything like that. So all in all, a pretty good tent. Is it the best? No. Is it the best for the money? Yes, I think it is. I paid £75 for this tent from Go Outdoors, and I can't fault it for the money. Absolutely fantastic. Now, I do have some suggestions for improvements. I am aware that there is a version 2 of this tent out, and there isn't much information about it on the internet. I have had a look. So any comments that I might make going forward now may have been addressed on the version 2, but until I get my hands on one, I won't know. So I'm going to go through a small list of improvements that I would suggest for OEX. Okay, number one, generally the finishing is pretty good, but as you can see here, a couple of little bits of the finishing isn't brilliant. So come on OEX, you can do better than this. It's a small detail just to get right. That's number one. Number two, the porch area is quite small. It's enough to put a few bits and bobs in there, but I think it could do with just being a little bit bigger. One suggestion I do have for OEX is to make like a lean-to tarp porch extension, something like that, where you could maybe have the option of attaching it to this tent to make one side or both sides porches bigger if you're carrying a more kit, something like that. So that's number two. Okay, and my third little niggle is these ground pegs. Come on OEX, you can do better than that, man. For a tent of this quality, you should be having something a bit more substantial coming with it. Something like these. You know, the cost of including something like this with a tent of this quality for the money, it's a no-brainer really. So that's my third and final recommendation for this tent. Okay, so before we finish this review, we'll just go over the air vents. So the one on the front is pinned down, and as you can see there's a little bit of air vent there, so you can have it closed or open very easily, no problems whatsoever. And if we go around the back of the tent, we've got a little vent there. You can see the mesh just inside there, and it's held up by this strap here. Quite sturdy, especially compared to the gear top one that I reviewed last time. That was pretty feeble, but this is quite sturdy. Again, you can have that open or closed compared to whatever you fancy. So all in all, I absolutely love this little Phoxx 2. Cracking wee tent, low profile, not easily visible, and very, very comfortable for one man. Excellent. Gets a thumbs up from me. Alright guys, when I'm taking down the tent, first thing I do is obviously take the fly sheet off. And what I prefer to do with this tent is just take your fly sheet off, make sure it's obviously clean and dry if you can, fold it up, and I like to put it inside the mesh. Just keeps everything nice and tidy when you're popping it away. So what I'll do is I'll zip this up, I'll get my stand set up, and I'll show you how I fold it all up to get it nice and small. Right, so same again, when you're taking these out, you don't really want the bottom part to be pinned to the ground. So the first thing I'll do is take those pins out, remove these bars, top and bottom, everything put in the bags, and then I'll show you how I fold it up. Okay, so just make sure everything's nice and flat so there's not too many creases in it. As you can see, with having the outer fly sheet put inside the mesh, keeps everything nice and tidy. And all I do then is follow a point from corner to corner straight down and fold it over. So the bottom of the sheet actually overlaps just a wee bit, not too much, just a wee bit. Try and get some air out. And then what I like to do, I like to fold it in half. Again, try and express as much air as you can there. You should be equidistant. Right, we'll get the pegs and everything put in the bags, and the poles and everything, and then we'll show you how small I can get it. Okay, time to fold it away. Now, the reason I do it like this is, what I like to do is put my tent pegs and my poles at this end where the fold is. So as you roll it over, it pushes all the air out that end, whereas if you did it this way, it could block a bit of air inside. So let's get it rolled up. Start with the biggest one at your point. So this should be roughly ever so slightly bigger than your pole bag. Nice and tight, fold it over. Done a couple of rolls, put that in, your pegs. As you can see there, it's expelling the air as you're going out. Nice and tight, you can actually hear the air coming out of it. Roll it up nice and easy, and into the bag. Same again with the bag. What I like to do is neck it, try and get as much air out as I possibly can, fold it down the side, and then get your seal there, roll it up so it's nice and tight. And you've got your clip, and there you go. Nice and tight, roughly about the same width as me. That's quite a lot smaller than when you buy it out the shop, so that's a good thing. And on the side of the pack here, you've got your loops. So if you've got an OEX rucksack, there's actually a system on there for just clipping it on the side of your backpack. So there we go guys, the OEX Phoxx 2, highly recommended by a Cumbrian lad. Right guys, time for this bit of scran. I'm no chef out like that, but I'm having my first gun at making some homemade burgers. So I've got some mince, some garlic, some onions, some mustard, stuff like that. And then myself a couple of burgers. Now what I've done, just as a trial, is I've put the cheese on the inside of the burgers, just to see how they turn out. So quite looking forward to that. So let's get these bad boys on the go, see how they turn out. I have to go one at a time because the frying pan's too small. This is actually a bit bigger than the one that I use for camping, so I thought I'd give that a go. So, oh, I don't know how smell good that. Really looking forward to these. Right, we'll let these cook a wee bit and I'll come back to you. Right guys, I don't know whether you can see, it's not quite working. You can kind of fell apart where I've put the cheese in the middle, which I'm a bit disappointed about, but we'll keep going. Dare say it'll still taste grand. So, we'll see how we get on. A bit disappointed about that, to be fair. Right guys, that's the first one just about done. It's not fell apart anymore, as you can see there. We've got the cheese in the middle. Bit disappointed, but it still looks as though it's going to be good eating. So we'll dig that one out, get it fired in a bun, in a butty, I should say, northern crack and that. Fired in there, and we'll get the second one on ready for when I finish the custard. hopefully that will maybe order together a bit better. If anyone fancies the recipe for these burgers, hit me up with a subscribe and a like and a comment, and I'll fire it up in there. Right, have a taste of these. Whoa, chunky boy. It's good. Very tasty, very juicy. Right, I'm definitely going for these again. Homemade's definitely better than shop bought. Just while my second burger's cooking, I'd just like to say, obviously with the lockdown and everything, it wasn't really ideal for launching my channel, but I thought I'd do it anyways, just to get used with the editing crack and taking videos and sec. I'd much prefer to be giving you reviews and cooking videos and stuff like that when we're out and about, but obviously at the moment we cannot do that. So I am looking forward, once it's all over, to getting out there and giving you some more realistic reviews in the field, as it were. So right, I'll get myself away and enjoy these. Thank you very much for clicking on my video, very much appreciated. If you like my videos, please subscribe, hit that bell notification, and then you'll get notified every time I give you a video. Stay safe, much love from a Cumbrian lad.